Now, reports are coming in that Iranian security forces have fired on protesters in the city of Mahabad in northwest Iran. Crowds there have been protesting over the shooting of a local person on Wednesday night. There is no news yet of any casualties. Sounds of gunfire can be heard in videos received by the BBC's Persian service. Protesters are shown gathered outside official buildings in the city shouting "Down with the dictator." On Wednesday, Iranian security forces fired on protesters in several cities that were protesting the death in custody of Mahsa Amini. It is 41 days since 22-year-old Mahsa Amini died in Iran after being detained by the morality police for allegedly wearing her hijab improperly. Her death has sparked protests across Iran and around the world. The BBC's Samira Hussain spoke to one Iranian protester who's now in Islamabad waiting for a visa to the United States. To protect him, we are concealing his identity and using only his first name.
Her death has become a symbol for a movement against the country's authoritarian regime. Moin was in his home city of Tehran when the uprising began and was in the thick of the protests.
There are protests almost every other day, and they are getting suppressed violently. And even if you're not a protester, you might get some of the shrapnels. You might get beaten up, or I know of some people who have even gotten killed.
To protect his family back in Iran, we are only using his first name and concealing his face.
There's been regular shooting at the protests. I've seen it many times. It's either with military-style bullets or with pellets. I've seen the suppression forces beating people for the sake of just beating them up.
This is the city of Saqqez, Mahsa's home and now her final resting place. Authorities tried but failed to block protesters flocking to her grave to mark the end of the mourning period, a culturally significant moment for Iranians.
That could have easily been my sister. That could have easily been my girlfriend. There's this tyranny, and it's murderous. What I'm going to do with my conscience if I sit down? Yes, I need to bear some risks, but I need to do it for the safety of my people and my friends and my parents. If I don't do it, who's gonna?
The attempts to suppress the rage and anger of Iranians are violent and deadly. But videos being shared on social media show a country full of defiance and determined for regime change. Samira Hussain, BBC News, Islamabad.